There's a need for small businesses to have a digital presence, but in most cases, creating a website that truly reflects your business is expensive and requires technical knowledge. Thuto is a chatbot that allows small businesses to create custom websites through natural language. So, how does it work? So, we have a chat like interface where you're able to tell Thuto what type of website you want to build, what should the website look like, what type of functionality should the website have. After your conversation, Thuto will then generate a website for your liking. It will then, after, give you a URL link so that you can check it out. I'll do a demonstration shortly.
Hi guys, welcome to the video update. In the previous video, I spoke about taking Tuto to a different direction, and that direction was creating Tuto to be a platform that allows small businesses to create websites. I've created the prototype, and I think in this video I'll do a demonstration and try to test it out to see its limitations, its capabilities. So essentially, what it is that it's a chatbot that creates a Flask application based on the user's inputs. So in this instance, I'll try to create a website for a small business, an e-commerce store. You can try that out. So let's say um, so it'll ask me, welcome, what type of website would you like to create? So in this instance, it'll give me a suggestion where I could select. So let's say e-commerce, right? How would you like your website to look? Please select a color palette. I would select something dark, just experimenting. And it will ask me, what functionality should your website have? Please select one or more. Let's say web store, right? Is there any additional information you'd like to add about your website? So I think we could give it a name, right? So let's say this, so call it um, comic, comic lounge, right? It should include comic books. It should include comic books from Marvel and DC, right? Um, it should it should have let's say monthly special um, on MF, not MF. I always say MF. Doctor Doom. Say all caps. Special edition, right? Um, and then we're going to click on send. So what it does is that it creates that file. It still loads it at the current moment. Let's look at the backend. So it hit a request and it's still generating it. It might take some time, but I think once it loads, it's going to give us a response and it's going to display that response. Let's look at the front end. Okay, so it says great. Here's a summary of your website preference. Website type, so dark functionality, web store additional information. Right, so you can download using the following link. Let's look at the backend. Okay, I think it's still loading on the backend. It'll show the the folder and the file once it's finished loading. Okay, so it generated the file and the e-commerce website is this part, right? So if we select this, so you can see it created the files. I think what we should do now is run it based upon this folder. Let me stop running it from here. As you can see, this is the generated response. So it created an app file and it created, let me see, it creates a CSS file, it creates a HTML file. You see, templates index.html. And then it generates it here. Let me run it from this part. let's say open bash, and then we're gonna run it from this location. So we're gonna say python app.py, right? So we're gonna need to open it up in a new location. So we're gonna say localhost 5000. There is the application. Wow, this is wild. Okay. Um yeah, I think we just need to add in functionality for images, so we could load images. I think, as you could see, it created it comic lounge, Doctor Doom, so it generates it from scratch. I think let's even look at the code that it generated, right? So if we go through here, so it created an app.file, it created templates, that's where it stores my index, it created my static, which stores my styling. Let's open it up here and see it properly. Oh, so it created the app file, obviously, and then it created a comic array which contains of dictionaries. I think this is what we see from the front end, right? So that's the Doctor Doom special edition, publisher Marvel. So it understands that that's Marvel. Let's see if there's any functionality. Add to cart. Okay, there's no functionality, which sucks. But I think this is something that we could improve upon, um, especially with um, Thuto Academy, where our, I think, developers could create plugins for functionality. But this is a start. This is the first time testing it out on, I think, a different space. But the turnout is pretty cool. So it creates that, and it creates that special edition, right? And then it displays it in the index file. But yeah, I think that is it. Yeah, I think the next step would be to see how do I deploy this, right? Because I think at the current moment it's running on my local file, and I need to deploy it on on a server, and be able to, I think, give this functionality, I think, to people on the go. So I think right now it still takes time to load. So that's the part that I still need to fix. But yeah, I'll make an update on the next video.